Now, why are you chasing avoidance? Let's talk. So, here's the four main attachment styles that we discuss in attachment theory. There's the secure attachment style, the anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant. Fearful avoidant is a mix of both anxious and dismissive. That's why this is disorganized. But let's just forget about all of this. Okay, let's forget about all of this attachment style stuff for a moment. Today, I want to talk to you about a behavior pattern. I want to talk about intermittent reinforcement. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, what does the word intermittent mean? Well, here's how Google defines intermittent: occurring at irregular intervals, not continuous or steady. Okay, reinforcement. Reinforcement of what? Attention, validation, affection, and love. Okay, so intermittent reinforcement under the lens of relationships, attachment theory, attraction, can be defined as irregular or inconsistent displays of affection, attraction, validation that reinforce the idea of love or care. And this is why it's called breadcrumbing, because it's like you're getting these breadcrumbs of validation and affection. Now, this behavior pattern can become quite addictive when you're on the receiving end of it, because it's like you're getting these just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, hoping to finally get that entire loaf of bread. And you think if you just wait around long enough, if you just show and express how much you care, you'll finally get that entire loaf of bread. But you just keep getting these little bits, and this is what makes this behavior quite addictive. It wires your brain chemistry to want more and more of it. So anytime your partner shows you a little bit of attention, a little bit of affection, it gives you a spike of dopamine, and then you want that next spike and that next spike. And anyone with an anxious attachment style really needs to be aware and careful of this behavior and be able to spot it, because the anxious preoccupied usually finds themselves in these situations where they're in this cycle of wanting more and more, especially when they're chasing an avoidant partner. And this behavior, it just makes you curious. Like, why is this person acting this way, right? Why are they being warm and affectionate and caring, and then distant and ignoring me? It makes you curious to understand the person. So you keep chasing and chasing. Now, a narcissist will do this very intentionally and maliciously to gain control over their victims. They know what they're doing, right? An avoidant, for the most part, does this unintentionally. They're not as aware of what they're doing. Avoidants are trying to protect themselves from getting too close, but they want to keep you around as an option. So they'll engage in this intermittent reinforcement, for the most part, unintentionally. But either way, right? Either way, this behavior is harmful if you're on the receiving end of it, because it's like your brain gets chemically addicted to this behavior. You feel almost like you're going to die without this person, in a similar way that a drug addict feels like they're going to die without their substance. Now, if someone shows you this kind of behavior, where they're very hot cold, where they're affectionate and warm, and then they shut down and they stonewall, it doesn't matter if they're a narcissist or an avoidant or whatever. If you learn anything from this channel or any other channel, other channels on attachment theory, or anything from attachment theory, whatever, learn this. Okay, learn this. Be aware and be on the lookout for intermittent reinforcement, right? It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, or if this is an LGBT relationship, whatever. Watch out for this kind of behavior and be able to protect yourself from it and get away from it, because you'll end up in this cycle of wanting more and more and more, and you get addicted to this behavior. And also be careful not to do this to yourself, right? And what I mean by that is, I tell this to my one-on-one clients, but what I mean by don't engage in intermittent reinforcement yourself is, say you're after a breakup, you're in no contact, you and your ex are not speaking, right? When you continue to check on their social media profiles, to check on their activity status, to maybe you're looking at old photos of you together, that's kind of participating in intermittent reinforcement yourself, and you're kind of breadcrumbing yourself. So just be careful with that, okay? Try not to do that. That's what I mean by don't do this to yourself, right? Because you can easily get caught up in that without realizing it. So yeah, just be careful with that. Be aware of that. I don't. It's going to be different for everyone, for every relationship. Maybe you can block and delete them altogether. If you don't want to take it that far, you can just maybe mute them, or just take a break from social media altogether. It's probably your best bet. But that's what I mean by don't do this to yourself. Okay. So yeah, really be on the lookout for this behavior pattern of intermittent reinforcement. You might even want to discuss this with your partner, right? Maybe when you first start dating, you can just talk about it casually, see what their reaction is, right? And it'll kind of give you an idea of who they are when you see what their reaction is. If maybe they engaged in this behavior before, maybe they have a history of engaging in this behavior. You can kind of break that fourth wall of attachment theory and just discuss this openly, casually. You can share this video with them, watch this video together, right? And just see what their thoughts are. Have a good conversation about it. It's a good way to learn more about attachment theory and to just get to know more about your partner when you can kind of break that fourth wall of attachment theory and just have these discussions openly with the partner. It can make for a very healthy discussion. So yes, again, if you learn anything from attachment theory about relationships, whatever, learn this. Be on the lookout for intermittent reinforcement, breadcrumbing, whatever you want to call it. Be on the lookout for it, recognize it, and be able to protect yourself from it. Anyways, I hope I brought some good into your life today. If so, please like and subscribe, and please share your stories and your experiences and your thoughts in the comments. Let's get the discussion going. And if you think this video might help somebody, please share it with them. And until next time, you take care. I'll see you in the next.